Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is November the 19th, 2022, and I'm not in Moncton. I am away because my son already has basketball, so we have gone to a new location, Fredericton, the capital of New Brunswick, and are playing a few games. He played last night, got a few minutes, got 5 points, so good start. Hopefully get some more playing time in today. The team as a whole didn't do so well and got beat quite badly. Now we're replaying them again this morning, so hopefully we're gonna have more energy and things will go well. You can hear in the background, they've got a fountain going. There's a little Christmas decoration happening too. Let me go down to the fountain area, see if you can see it. There's not a lot of lights on in here right now. This is also where the pool is. So the pool is closed at this hour of the day. There's the fountains they have here. There's some koi in the pond. Not sure if you can see them or not. Probably you can. We'll wander over this way. I'll show you a little bit of the tour before I get into part 41 of That Dad Guy Answers. Now I had to write my questions on a piece of paper because I don't have the luxury of having the computer with me here. There's the pool. Here's the shower room. It's a strange little area. All these rooms have courtyards, balconies that face out into this section where the pool table is, the pool, the hot tub, and the fountain. We have a room, fortunately, on the other side that is outside of this circle that looks out into the parking lot. So not a great view, but we also didn't have to hear the basketball teams, the hockey teams that were in here, all playing and bouncing around in the pool last night. So that was good. There's also, which is kind of interesting, so you got the pool there, and then you got a little bar area here. So the parents can sit here and watch and have a beverage, and the kids can play. Let's just go back up into this section. What I think I'm gonna do is grab a table here, and then I don't have to hold, let's put Christmas trees in the background, or Christmas decorations. That'll be very festive. We'll sit here. I'll prop this up. Bear with me 1 second. How's that? That way we have Snowman, Frosty the Snowman in the background, and we can get through some of these questions. So the questions that came in, first one is from Wendy here in Canada. She says, when is your tree going up? So very appropriate with what we've got going on. When is our tree going up? Well, I think we're gonna have to wait until my daughter Dea gets back from university, and then we'll go out, we'll find the tree that we want, bring it back and put it up. So probably in around, just after the first week of December, the tree will go up. That's the plan. So hopefully there isn't a giant snowstorm in that time frame. We try to look for the warmest day and the least amount of snow and precipitation, thank you. And to get that tree cut and down and up. So that's the plan. All right, Wendy also says, you said you would never be an urban letter carrier. Why not? Okay, well, there's two unions. There is the urban side and there's the rural side, and I'm on the rural side. If I was to reapply for a job on the urban side, it would mean that I would have to start at the bottom again in my seniority and work my way back up. So I'd basically be on-call relief on that side until I can try to find myself a permanent position. So I would be so far down the ladder as far as seniority, it would not be worth it for me. I've gotten myself pretty far up from where I am now. I'm actually the number 2 spot in my local area. Now there's only 4 of us in that, but in the greater Moncton area, I am 7 or 8, so I'm pretty high up already, so I wouldn't want to give that up and start all over again at the bottom. So that's why I would never reapply to be an urban letter carrier. I'm in it long haul as a rural, I guess. All right, my next question comes from Michaela. I'm not sure where Michaela is from, but she says, what are some Xmas or what are some Christmas traditions you have that you do with your family? So first of all, we go and cut down a tree. Now we don't cut down just any old tree. In our household, we use a birch tree, not a green tree. So you basically have to find a really, really tall birch tree that has good branches on all sides, and you're really looking for the top 2/3 of the tree. So you want strong branches. You don't want the weak branches at the very top of the tree, and you don't want the base of the tree, which is big and thick and not a lot of branches. So you chop down a really tall tree and you take the top, or not the top, but about 10 feet down in the tree, take out 6 feet of it, and that's what you got. So that is the big tradition, and you'll see that in a future video, and you probably can go back on Instagram too if you're following me on that and see some pictures that we've done in the past. Also, the night before Christmas, one of the kids usually reads the night before Christmas, the story. That's one of our traditions. In the past, we've had my in-laws would sleep over the night before, so they would be there first thing in the morning. This year will be a little bit different because they've gone elsewhere for Christmas to be with one of their other children. So that's good that they get an opportunity to have Christmas with another child as well. So my wife will be missing them, but we'll have new Christmas traditions. So that's usually what we have. We also usually have, in the past few years, we've all gotten Christmas pajamas on Christmas Eve, so it kind of matches the family. Doesn't happen every year, but we have done it a few years. What other traditions? Traditional food that we have a turkey dinner, sweet potato casserole, dressing, you know, the usual North American turkey dinner, I guess. Yeah, so those are kind of the traditions that we have. So thank you, Michaela, for that. The next question comes from Jilly B in England, and she says, does polo hibernate? Says, in UK wild, hedgehogs very deep and sleep a lot. So he does not hibernate. He would if we took the temperature down. He's an African hedgehog. We have a heat lamp over his enclosure. We keep the heat up in and around his area too, so he stays nice and warm. If we were to drop the temperature down, he probably would go into hibernation, which wouldn't be good because he's not a wild hedgehog, so he hasn't taken in enough food that would keep him through hibernation. So he probably would perish if he went into hibernation. So we have to make sure the heat stays up and we keep him active. That way he doesn't go into hibernation. All right, the last question comes from Bernardo, and he's in Mexico. And he says, what's the most strange parcel you have delivered? I don't think I want Frosty the Snowman to hear this. So I am gonna wander. The strangest parcel I have delivered, and I have delivered more than one of them, are sex toys. So yeah, some people have even, letter carriers that I know that I work with have had them so they are on sometimes, and think that maybe the batteries probably would wear out by the time the customer actually got them. But I have had them, and it's unique on sometimes on what they actually say as the description of what's in the parcels. Pretty easy to figure out by some of the descriptions. So I would say that's the strangest things I've delivered. But we deliver all sorts of things. Marijuana. Deliver marijuana a lot, especially when it was legalized here, or when it became legalized here. Even more and more of it came through. You just had to be 19 years of age in order to claim it, and you just had to show your ID when we showed up at the door for it and sign for it. I've done that. I have delivered firearms. So I used to be the mailman for a hunting or outdoor store called Cabela's, and they would order all sorts of things that we would have to deliver for them. Yeah, lingerie, bikinis, you name it. Tires, fridges, big things. Lots of things get delivered by us. But the strangest, I think, are adult toys. So for those of you younger, disregard. I apologize. But the question was asked, so I'm going to answer it. Now, I think that's all the questions I have. We're going to wander. I'm going to go back to the room. We're going to get ready for this game. Hopefully everything goes well. We'll need to get some breakfast. And hopefully you guys remember to write your questions for next week. Leave them in the comments of this one, and I'll get back to you next week with your answers. Usually how I do respond, though, if you do leave me a question, I usually just answer it with good question or thanks for the question. Something just to acknowledge that you know that I got your question to begin with. But I will respond to them next week. Thank you so much for everyone who continues to leave questions and keeping this going. It's been a good run. We're getting close to a year every week of doing these questions, so I appreciate that so much. Hopefully you guys liked yesterday's video with my family in it. It was nice to have a few of them around and willing to participate, especially my parents. happy to have celebrated her 87th birthday. So next year will be a big year because my father will be turning 90, and my parents are also going to be celebrating their 65th wedding anniversary. So that's all coming up next year. So maybe there'll be some videos for that too. Who knows? But for now, you guys have a magical week.
What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?
Bye.